Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Welcome, dear friends, to Kardec Radio in a special program with health and spirituality. Did you know that 15 years ago, this July 4th, we started Kardec Radio with this program, Health and Spirituality. The first program was with Dr. Gary Schwartz, and many wonderful things are going to happen this year as well. And we are happy to start this new year of programs in health and spirituality with a program about books for children, spiritual books for children. So important. Though on earth we are not reading very much, but when do we start reading? When we're little. We need to start the habit of reading very young. I remember when baby Virginia was 6 months old, and in our American libraries, we have this privilege of having programs for babies, bringing her to those programs where educators would read books, sing songs, play games, associating books with fun, books with joy. And in Spiritist centers, it hasn't been any different because over the years, since the 70s, mostly in Brazil, with Cecilia Rocha, who was one of the vice presidents of the Brazilian Spiritist Federation, we have established programs for Spiritist education. It's a curriculum to teach spirituality, Spiritism to children, which is so vital. In many of our centers, these programs happen, and in many centers, we have the use of books for children. Nowadays, we could easily say that Luis Hu Rivas is a major author of books for children and teens. He and his sons have been working now on Spiritist animations, wonderful animations that are happening in a site named in Portuguese Desenhos Espíritas. In a collaboration with Kardec Radio and the Spiritist side of Virginia, we're releasing those beautiful dozens of animations he's done in the English language. Thanks to artificial intelligence, this is happening nowadays. But more friends are coming, like the Spiritist side of Virginia. We have Kardec Publisher focusing on the publishing of children's books. And today we're going to introduce you to another friend from Massachusetts who has joined this collective effort of writing books for children, teaching spirituality, teaching spiritism. When I've received books from Maria Plummer, I was delighted. She wrote books that we don't have yet about Kardec, the historical background of it for children as well. But she has so much to tell you. Maria Plummer will give you the website soon, a website that she created. If we can tell a little bit about her, she is an author and educator, devoted, as she says, to awakening hearts to the teachings of the Christ. Guided by a lifelong passion of faith and learning, she crafts stories that illuminate the path of light, understanding, and God's eternal love for all. Isn't that what we need nowadays? Yes. She has much to share with us, and I would like to introduce you to her right now. Thank you, Maria, for kindly joining us today. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me. It's a true honor to be here and talk about these little books that truly have my heart, and I'm hoping it reaches many hearts as well.
Yes, Maria. I know you are an educator by profession, right?
I am. Yes,
Tell
thank
a
you.
little bit about your professional background as well.
Well, as far as degrees. I mean, I have an associate in fashion design and in associate in marketing, a bachelor's in a fashion design establishment within the whole aspect of it. I have a master's in fine arts, also in business and in fashion. I have spent many years educating students with special needs that wanted to go into the fashion field and had a hard time with mathematics. So I would create curriculums and make sure they understood how to get those ideas from their mind, draw it, help them understand how to draw to make the patterns and not just make the patterns, make the outfit, and then have actual runway and how to sell what they truly have in mind as far as their passion. And it was a joy to see their involvement and their elevation. And even through teachings in many aspects, I have spent over 30 years teaching our children within the Sunday classes for our kids, especially about the understanding of spiritism, God above all things, Christ, and also, uh, the Ten Commandments, spiritism in its essence, and put it in a level that they would understand. And I know, many years past, we did follow believe it or not, Vanessa, through your the website that you have the resources for the curriculum. We were following that, but it also we had so many different levels that we wanted to provide for the younger ones the same kind of lessons, so we would create that. And I was thinking to myself, the same way we want these resources, that maybe other centers would need the same kind of resources, and that's what led me to create these books. You had mentioned the website, and I had created, even right now, downloadables that anybody can download and just read with their children. They all have a moral, because at the end of the day, all our lessons here on earth have a moral. And that's basically what I've done all my life. So,
It's beautiful. Let me show the website to our viewers. And okay, hold on. It's so beautiful. Yeah, let me see. We can see it. There you go. So beautiful. The Creator's Atelier. Wow. And okay, so let me see if I can go through this with you guys. Hold on, because I'm trying to find. Okay. Oh, hold on. Sorry, friends. Oh, there you are, because I have so many windows here. Okay, so when we open it, let me see if I can go. I will go back. Okay, hold on. I did. Let me do another sharing here. Hold on, guys. You're gonna love it. It's so beautiful. There. There you go. Now we can see. So if you go to the website, thecreator/atelier.com, you're gonna find this beautiful invitation, a gentle space for stories, reflection, and inner growth. What a beautiful proposal. Thoughtfully created children's books, printable guides, mindful resources that nurture calm imagination, emotional safety for children and the adults who care for them. So, we will explore, okay, more as Maria is going to tell us. Let me tell you about the tab on the books. There you go. Look at this, folks. Look at this. The giant tree in the tiny magic flying in the tiny magic flying seed. My cell phone took the attention, the life of Moses, Small Hands, Great Love about Mother Teresa, a book about Amália Domingo Soler for us in Spiritism. Amália Domingo Soler is our female Chico Xavier. Amélie Boudet, Kardec's wife. That's a book that we really need to share and explore. It's so unique, we don't have anything about it. The Life of Allan Kardec, the Fox Sisters, more about the Fox Sisters, Ryla and the Eye of the Needle, Walking with Jesus, 14 Acts of Mercy, Teacher Lesson Guide, The Light of Mercy coming soon. We have so many. And she says about resources. So let's talk a little bit about the books and then we talk about the resources as well. Maria, the books. What made you, for example, decide to write about Amélie Boudet, Amália Domingo Soler?
I found it very difficult when we were giving like curriculum classes. It's not enough to show them the picture and just say, this is their when they were born, this is what they did, and this is when they passed it. I wanted to create something that little kids can identify with, and we all, through all our lives, through all of our incarnations, we were young little kids. We did a lot of little different activities. We had our goals and things of that nature. So I wanted to show our little kids, their life based on what they had achieved and what they were doing based on the stories and the histories that we had out there, but putting it to an understanding that kids can see and relate to. So when they were reading, for example, the books of Amalia Domingo Soler, they understood, when mom was teaching them how to read, our parents teach us how to read as well, and letting them know that, how she was failing in her eyesight, and having them like pretending like if you closed your eyes would it be hard to read, and getting that feedback from them just so they could understand some of her path, some of her journey. And a lot of the books, even with Allan Kardec, he was a baby too. He had his infancy as well, and so it's more geared as to their prior life leading to their stories, but still staying true to what they did in history. So they have an aspect and an understanding, giving them the tools so when as they keep growing up, they want to learn more. They really want to get into the whole story as it is written in history. So that's what I wanted to do with the books.
Beautiful. So which Spiritist center are you affiliated with?
I'm affiliated with the Centro de Cultura Espírita Amalia Domingo Soler. It is located in Fitchburg, Massachusetts.
Exactly. So it's so good that you have this, as we say, Kardec used to say, like the laboratory to apply these teachings there with the children, right?
Yes. So what we do is, for let's say the lesson was about Moses, it was important. It's not enough to talk about the Ten Commandments, like who was involved in the Ten Commandments. So that's why the Book of Moses was created. We were giving the lessons of Moses, and the hopes is that every time there's a lesson and there's a book created, the children get these free resources. They are starting to build their library from little, from being a small age. I know when I was growing up, I mean, I came from a different faith. I was Catholic before being a spiritist. So I know even the stories that we heard were it's either good or bad, where I came from.
Yeah.
But understanding about spiritism is a different realm. It opened my eyes to know that I am not alone, that there is so much more to life, that there is so much love that God has for us. And I wanted to translate that to the kids, and, even going through my experiences in helping out and doing that. But every time there's a lesson, the kids get a book. And if we're talking about Amalia Domingo Soler, they get the book to go home with. And, they build their libraries as they're growing through each lesson.
That's beautiful. And yesterday we were at the Spiritist Society of Virginia studying the book The Messengers by André Luiz through Chico Xavier. And in this specific chapter, they are talking about this painting that André Luiz saw in the spiritual realm in spiritual urgent care named Field of Peace. And when he looked at the painting, he recognized the painting. He said, "Oh, it's a copy of the painting that I saw in France, in Paris, the Pantheon, It's Sandinese martyr. And then the mentor said, no, it's not a painting. It's not a copy. It's actually the original. The painter, when he was sleeping, he came here, he saw the painting, and he woke up and painted it. So when you wrote the books, did you feel the inspiration coming from above?
Honestly, I can't say these books are mine. I wrote my name on it because I have to go through, I'm publishing them in Amazon. So I put my name in there. But I don't feel like these books are from me. I truly feel inspired by the spiritual plane to create this because of the need and the love that I feel to share with the kids. So it's just I'm grateful uh, for our guides and our spirit mentors to give me that opportunity to receive these messages and put it forth because that's what they are. They're messages and, take the creativity of also within having the illustration so the kids can understand because they're very visual and just create it like a picture and then text, picture and then text, but based on the story that is essential for the lesson.
Mm-hmm. So who actually does the illustrations?
So I start with a quick sketch, and then I also use Mid Journey. I use there's Claude. There's also I use Chat. So I do a combination because not always do you get what you want, and it's constantly going in there and rendering. And then I go into Photoshop, and then I do some changes, and I also use Canva to do the final
Because
touches on them.
it's your specialty, right?
Yeah,
The arts.
yeah,
Wow, that's so beautiful.
yeah.
That's so beautiful. It's so unique too, because to create the art that goes along the story is another process, right? In
It
itself,
is. And
right?
it takes time. People don't realize how long it takes. It's not just saying, oh,
No.
produce an image. It doesn't work like that. And it takes time. You have to really invest in it. And is it true to what you want to show? And
Yeah.
it's just working with it. And then if nothing's working, you go in there and you make it happen, through Photoshop and Illustrator. So it's all I can say is it's been a lot of work, a big journey, but I love it. And it's something that I truly want to share. And the more that I can give it free. So, for example, even when the books are being purchased from Amazon, I for whatever it's being sold, I get like $2 back. I take those $2 and then I buy more books and I just give them for free. Because the intent is not for me to make anything; it's to spread the message, which is so vital. So that's why even the website is based on donations and things of that nature because it's to sustain the website and also to provide more resources. And if anybody's looking for resources, there's like 5 blogs that you can go into and you can even request. And, if working together, we can create what you need for your specific need.
Yes, it's such a beautiful work because it's like when people write lyrics, the lyrics of a song, but to put together the melody. I remember in the Spirit sort of Baltimore when another medium and I received the lyrics to some children's songs. I'm not a musician myself, so I'm like, oh my gosh, I heard the music, I have the lyrics. What do I do with it? So then we had to talk to a friend who was in another state, Steve Shepard, and say, Steve, that's what we heard, and this is the lyrics. Can you really create the melody? And he could feel it, and he did it. But it's not simple. So when you were able to do both processes as you did, the story and the illustration, it's the complete creation. So beautiful. And not only that, but as you said, okay, you have resources. So I want to show a little bit about the resources. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Okay, so the resources here, um, for people who want to teach. So, parables, gospel lessons for, spiritist education, Sunday school, God together. And if you click there, it's going to give you a PDF. and the PDF is going to lead into lessons that can be taught to children. I think that's another level as well. And that comes from your educator side. Like, it's not enough to share the story, but making available um, educational resources to be applied to children. Tell us a little bit more about this effort and this the dynamics, the approach of going from the book to educational lessons for children, please.
So, at least in our center, the main source of where we were teaching our children, believe it or not, started with the systematic teachings of Spiritism, which we got actually from your website, and it's in a higher level. So, because we have so many different ages, we had broken it down to meet the needs of those groups of the kids. So, for example, if the lesson was knowing, who is God or what is God, it was important for us to get lessons from nature, or even going outside, getting some leaves and trees and putting the two things together, what we're saying and the action of it. So it was important to create lesson plans that, fulfilled that. For example, in the Ten Commandments, we would have the little kids create cookies, like little tablet cookies, and we will
Mm,
put like 1 through 10, and they will go after our members would get out of the center, or even go to the fire station. We will give them the cookies as being of service, because that's important. It wasn't for them just to eat the cookies because that's what the kids wanted to do, but it was the lesson of going out there and giving it to someone else, to be giving. So it's just being, how to teach our little kids to be of service in such a young age, when they're at the point like, I want this, I need this, and it's we have to blend both. So yes, we will fulfill their little snacks and needs, but when we're creating a project, it's for the community, and we're trying to help them understand how to open their hearts and especially their hands to align to the message of Spiritism.
that's so beautiful. And uh, when people who are listening to us and they want to buy the books for Spiritist Center, they can contact you through the website, right?
It's You could do it through the website, and the website links directly to Amazon. You can email me and I can give you more information on it. But it is the publisher is through Amazon, and they do the whole process. And like I said, whatever is received, it's only obtained to get more books to give it to the community for
Yeah,
as a message for them.
that's wonderful. We have friends here with us. We have Rosane from Brazil saying congratulations on your talent, Maria. Thank you, Rosane. We have Carol Correa. There's Carol. Thank you, Carol. What a beautiful after in the good. We have Daisy Gallen here with us. What a beautiful website. By the way, Daisy, thank you for allowing us to take your prayer for peace slot and doing it earlier so we could do this program today. Thank you so much. And we have our friend Slavik here also, always supporting us. We are so grateful to you, Slavik. And we have Elizabeth Ashmore. Look what she says. Many blessings, dear friends. I'm so excited for the launch of Maria's children's books. They've been a meaningful presence in my home, especially for my grandchildren. Thank you, Elizabeth Ashmore. Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for sharing your comments here with us. And as you've heard, friends, you can go to the website, the Creators Atelier, the Creators slash Atelier, okay? The Creators slash Atelier. And then you can go there, explore. There's so much to explore, and there are more books to come as well. Am I right?
Yeah, there is. Especially there's one about a little girl going through leukemia and her journey,
Oh,
and understanding how to work with that as well. So it's just understanding, our bodies, and knowing the path of what we take as well. So yeah.
okay. So we have already created here the link for the website in all of our social media. you'll find, if you're listening to us, if you're watching us, you can find the link right there in the comments for you. Now, let's show a little bit about your first book. Am I right? The first
Yep.
book?
The seed.
The Seed.
Yeah.
How meaningful is this to begin with the seed? So thoughtful. And okay, so let me just, sorry, I'm trying to find,
It should be in the tab where the books are, just on the
yeah,
top.
on the top. Yes, I saw it. Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah.
Because I was looking right below it.
Yeah.
And it's
And,
up.
and and the website name itself, it just means God's studio. So
Yeah,
that's what the Creator's Atelier means, just
yeah,
God's studio.
yeah. So here it is. Let me make it a little bigger. So it's like a flip book for us to know more about the book. I won't play this here for you because you guys can actually do it on our end. But it's in a flip book format, and you see the book and the story and the beauty that it brings about. So let's talk about a little bit about this book, Maria. When you created it, what generated the idea for the book?
Through the lessons that we have learned, especially through the parables of Jesus, we there's always messages about seeds, the seed of, the size of the mustard seed, having faith,
Yeah,
and also for us to be seeds. So this story, believe it or not, even though you see a little boy, the little boy is not mentioned. His presence is there, though, and it's the same thing with us. We are the seeds, and we are going through different seasons, and where we are planted is important to understand that that's where we need to be. And for this little seed, it's finding its place, and it's understanding that it has reached its location, and the journey is that it's experiencing growing. And this little boy is very attentive to the little tree through the from the moment it was flying around and following it, and he noticed that the seed took ground, but he was always alert. We don't talk about the little boy, but again, the presence is there, just like God's presence is always with us. The spiritual plane's presence is always with us, always guiding and protecting us. So for me, it was important to have that presence. Um, the elements, for example, we have great days. The sun is shining. We have rain. We are fulfilling our nutrients for our bodies and things of that nature. But there's also the storms, when it's extreme weather, when it's snowing, when it's extremely windy, that it's almost like pulling the roots right out. The tree felt very firm inside, like, I this is where I'm planted, this is where I need to be. And it shows through its efforts of growing and being planted where it is, that it produces other seeds, and the gratefulness that it has, that it's spreading that love as well. And it's noticing that the little boy, as it's growing, as the tree's going, the little boy's no longer there, and it realizes that towards the end of the story, that the little boy was planting his own seeds. He came with his family, so the family can learn about the growth of the tree and the beauty of God's creation.
that's beautiful. And nowadays, at the current stage of our world, more than ever, we need books like this to raise a new generation. And it's so interesting, Maria, because talking to people from different walks of life, different religious, spiritual backgrounds, we're coming to a point in which people have a hard time even saying that they. Yesterday, I was talking to somebody. They don't want to say they are affiliated to any religious path, etc. And we see that the new generation is growing up for the most part without a major north of life. I'll give an example. In my daughter's previous school, of all her friends, she was one of the very few, the 10%, that were raised in a spiritual religious family. Everybody else, the parents are not religious. They learn nothing about religiosity or spirituality, zero. And one day, as they were studying in social studies, the teacher was talking about the religions of the world. And then during recess, a girl said, I hate God and I hate religion. There you go. This is the world we're living in now. So it doesn't surprise us what we're seeing nowadays, this lawlessness in the world where people do whatever they like because there is no God. What do you think about this?
I think it's hard to determine, the path of how people raise their children and their thought process. For me, I would love the aspect of teaching it for every family and all the lessons. To your point, everything starts at the home. It's not just the religious aspect, the good behaviors, the understanding about God, the respect, the love for each other. It all starts at home, which is why we're created in this unity, in these little groups. So to have a religious aspect of it, it only helps you understand even more. um, is it hard to hear the stories? Absolutely. And to your point, all we can do is pray and hoping that their minds are more open so we can help and guide, because we're never here to judge. We're just here to be supportive, just like the spiritual plane is always supportive with us. um, but it's hard, and I'm grateful that, like you're saying, that you're able to do that. Like, I know I did that with my children, and they're already 23 and um, ready to leave the nest and all of that. 23 and 21, but they, regardless of their age, they have that seed in their heart. But it started at home. It just didn't start with the religious aspect of it, because it has to go hand in hand, and we can't allow just the religious aspect of it to take over what parents should be doing with their children. But I think it's something that goes hand in hand, and yes, we do have to partner up and meet them also where they're at and be those resources for them. Because all we can do is just that. I've been in many of your lessons and classes where you say, we don't judge, we're just that resource, we're that support system, and that's what all we can do and hope in this world, that we can be those helping hands for that path, so we could walk together as true brothers and sisters that we are of this school that we're in.
Exactly. And this is to show a particular need that we have nowadays. It's a challenge, actually. As an educator myself, it's a challenge for us to educate the new generations in terms of religiosity and spirituality. Parents in this new generation have no preparation whatsoever, and that's why we created at the Spiritist out of Virginia Spiritist Parenting. Spiritist Parenting is an app, free app, and a website for people to, especially for parents, it's tailored for parents to help them have some resources, some awareness to the mission of parenting. Again, as we're saying, the book, The Messengers by Andrea Lewis, it says to us in chapter 13 that in the spiritual realm, they have schools for maternity. They have centers for parenthood. And he says, and this is not judgmental, it's just the Spiritist view. He says, failed parents come there to revisit their missed opportunities and the lost tasks. Learn, reincarnate to become better parents. So that's why we consider parenting a school. And parents cannot teach what they don't know, and that's where Spiritist centers come in place. They are vital to support the parents so the parents can bring it home. Parents alone, we wish they had all the wisdom of the world, because what we're seeing in the world is the byproduct of the status of our families. The world is not experiencing wars and unrest, whereas families are in harmony. That this harmony begins at home and is translated outside of our home. So that's why these books that Maria are bringing to us, they will help us solidify a new world, a new earth, giving tools to the new generation. So, Maria, we have here our different Daisy sharing. What an incredible effort, Maria. Books are rays of light on earth. May you continue in this effort of sharing the good. And thanks to Kardec Radio as well. Thank you, Daisy. Daisy and Carol are um, educators as well in the Spiritist Society of Virginia, and they recognize that these books that Maria is bringing to us, they really offer opportunities that we're going to apply in our center. So we're encouraging you who is watching us, and this is also a message for our dear friend Rihanna, Rihanna Williams from South Africa, who is one of the hosts at Kardec Radio. She does a beautiful program with her granddaughter, Zelly, where they read books and talk about it as well.
Nice.
She's a child and she has been doing this beautiful effort. And I'm sure, Maria, that they are going to be in touch with your books. And who knows if they are going to add it to their program as well. How
That would
about
be so
that, huh?
exciting. Exciting, definitely. And then honestly, it's just a matter of us sharing the message, and however I can help. Truly, whatever you think I can help you with, I'm here with open arms and a full heart to share with you. Truly.
Yes. So, um, Maria, we also have here in your website the resources about um, this idea of the book club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know how our adults, we always hear that adults have book clubs and
Yeah.
things of that nature. So even with my sister Elizabeth, she has like a little book club with her grandchildren, and it's really great because they have used those books almost like they just, instead of using their toy to go everywhere with it, taking the little books because they love the message so much. So we're creating these little book clubs for the children as well, and it gives you an outline on how you can create yours. You can alter it to whatever you want. We talk about the importance of the little bit of water and the energy provided, from God and the universe above all. To help us, but it's just a small little guide for children and how to do it for their type of age. So it's just, the same way we have book clubs. Why shouldn't children have their own book clubs too?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow. What a beautiful idea. Especially at the day and age of social media and electronics, right?
Yeah, yeah, which is why I wrote the book. My cell phone took my attention. Nowadays, our kids, even adults, I mean, you see them, they're just so much on their phone, and the person they're talking to could be right next to them, but they
Yeah.
prefer to do it digitally. And there's something to be said about being in person, having those conversations, having that one-on-one, and removing yourself from the digital aspect of it, because we still need to connect. We are our own Wi-Fi. Why not be our own hotspots for everybody else, with the knowledge of God, the spiritual plane, and above all, loving each other and being there for each other. So how great would that be if we did that? Turn on our own hotspots, turn off the phones, and listen.
Yes, that's so beautiful. So for spiritist centers who have bookstores and want to sell your books, do you have a special discount for them?
No, believe it or not, I have to purchase my own books too, which
Oh,
is why I say for every like $2 that I make, I take that and I go to Amazon and I
okay.
purchase it. There is
I
no special deal or anything. It's
okay.
just because it's self-published. There's no other, company supporting that. It's just just
Oh,
just
I
our
see.
own efforts.
I see.
Mhm.
So here we go, folks. We have these amazing books. I'll show it again to you. There you go. The books books in the creator/atelier.com. And these books provide to us the understanding of the way of being, the divine way of being. And we can tell that this book by Kardec, the subtitle, Friend of Spirits, Teacher of Wisdom, so beautiful and something for us to explore and bring to our spiritist centers, and the books that are coming up as well about Jesus. So, Maria, we would like to thank you so much for your effort, for your courage, for your, you know, willingness to do what's most important, give a hand to the new generation, because they are going to continue these works and they need direction. What would you like to share as your last comment for today?
Honestly, I all of us have the tools already within ourselves to be those resources, and it all starts with just having those conversations of connecting with your faith and your love and your guidance, with God above all, the lessons of our teacher Jesus as a guide and model, and also the support of the spiritual plane, which we know is always present with us. For you to have that courage as well, form your own little book clubs. It doesn't have to be necessarily the books that I'm creating, but if it helps, know that the resources are there. If you want to reach out and for me to help you, I'm here as well. My hands are your hands. And all I want to say is be the be the lighting guide, the guiding light that we are all meant to be, because we are made from our creator. And if he's light, right? If God is created of light and we are a little spark of that light, then we are co-creators. So why not build and spread that kind of love to our little ones, especially? And we're all young at heart, and maybe you just need to reach out to the person next to you and say, let me be your little light, and sing that little song, this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Please, let's all shine. And thank you for the opportunity in having this wonderful talk.
So Maria will be back here at Cardiac Radio. We have plans, projects for her to be here and giving a hand to you, the viewers, so you can share these resources with the little ones in your life. Thank you so much, Maria. As Carol Correa is saying to us, reading for the good in order to learn to do the good as well as spread the good. Thank you so much, Carol, always for your wonderful share. Let me share this. Carol Correa was the first one with a friend who started Cardiac Radio for Kids. If you go to YouTube channel Cardiac Radio many years ago, uh, Carol and Mark, they started these programs. They were only audio back then because it was before video streaming. And then later, when we started the video streaming, our group of educators started streaming the lessons for children, especially during the pandemic, for kids who couldn't be in spiritist centers as well. And as Carrie is saying, confirming what Maria said, yes, let it shine. Let it shine, dear friends. So, this is not it. There will be more at Cardiac Radio, and you will hear from us starting this week on Monday. You will see Monday, Tuesday, especially Tuesday. You're gonna see a new programs at Cardiac Radio also coming up, especially about Obsession, Manuel Filomeno de Miranda's books, friends from Canada coming here to Cardiac Radio to share with you teachings that make our lives so much easier. So wherever you are, look at Maria. She left the realm of the anonymity. People didn't know her. Now she knows. And she is known by you. She's here with us. Wherever you are, do the same. Share the knowledge that makes your life so different. What if people knew what we know, would the world be better? Hopefully, yes.
Yeah.
So that's why we're here, Kardec Radio. Thank you so much, Maria, for the work, for your presence, and for your flexibility because we had to switch the time of the program as well. Thank you deeply and very much for everything. All right.
Thank you.
And dear friends, stay tuned because here at Kardec Radio, there's always more to nourish our souls.